All right, so class, let's continue with the three more slides, right? All right, so let's talk about the control of orders received. All right, so we have already discussed on the symptoms of overtrading. All right, so you're doing business beyond your capacity. That is what we call that overtrading. So the symptoms like increase in sales, increase in receivables, longer credit from suppliers, all right, all those are symptoms. So let's look at the what are the procedures, what are the ways we can control the orders received. So overtrading can cause grave financial problem. Why they mention the word grave? Because it's very detrimental to the business. It can make the company the worst case scenario, which is going bankrupt, right? So it may be vital to limit the amount of business that is accepted. Each order must be analyzed to discover the following. You see, it's always good when more customers are coming in to order, all right, for your products. It's something great. You might be happy to accept all the orders, but all right, you must make sure you have the sufficient capacity, all right, to take on the orders and deliver it on time promptly, right? So let's look at uh, how each orders should be analyzed. All right, of course, the first aspect would be the effect on factory capacity. Right? Do you have the capacity? Let's say in a month you can only produce 50,000 units of the particular products, but now you already have 50,000 worth of orders. But if you keep on taking on more orders, that shows you don't have the capacity. All right, then you might not able to produce. You might not able to um, give the orders to the customers on time. Then they might take they might take legal action against you because you're not giving them on time, or maybe you are working instead of two shifts, you're working three shifts. All right, you might end up use all your cash in order to buy more supplies. Then you don't have cash, then you can't operate your business. All right, so the first thing, of course, check on the factor's capacity, the amount of working capital tied up in the order. All right, so if it's a large order, of course it sounds good, but if your working capital tied up is too much, it's like your inventory is too much and you have to finish, it might take 6 months to finish the order. So for the next 6 months, your cash, your fund is been tight in your working capital. So do you have the capacity to run next 6 months without sufficient cash? All right, so you have to check on that. And the third one, length of time for which the company must provide finance. Okay, that is the working capital. Do you have the capacity? Or if let's say you need finance, all right, how long do you need it? All right, if you need it for a month, maybe you can take a short-term loan. But if let's say you need for 6 months, do you think getting a loan is sufficient, or do you need the shareholders to pump in money? And all right, that sort of thing. And the last one, the estimated profit or contribution of the order. All right, that is also equally important. There could be a large order, but your profit margin could be very low. All right, instead of taking few small orders, but you're getting higher profit margin. So that should be better way to control your orders. So let's move on. Control of purchase commitments. All right, so let's talk about the purchase commitments. Payables can put the firm into liquidation if the demands for settlement are not satisfied. So the important point here, you buying stocks, all right, from the suppliers, and you are undoubtedly make sure have to make the payment to the suppliers, right? They are the payables. If you don't make the payment on time, if they request you to make the settlement, if you don't have the ability to make the payment, they can make your company go into liquidation. Alright, so this is usually supplies might not um, um, supplies might give you some uh, time. Of course, they give you credit 10 days, 20 days, but if you take 3 months, and you're not paying, of course, they will end up take legal action. Purchasing manager should verify the materials to be purchased would be restored or used in production within a reasonable time. Alright, so when you buy a product, when you buy a supply, you must be able to forecast how fast you can able to utilize those stocks. Whether in a week you can finish, or whether in a month you can use it, or whether it will take another 3 months or 6 months to use that particular product. So if you're able to forecast, then you need to check whether buying a large quantity is viable or just buying a small quantity should be sufficient. Should carry greater weight than the savings that can be made by bulk buying. Alright, so bulk buying is a good thing because when you buy in bulk, you get a bulk discount, right? But buying in bulk, but you're keeping in a warehouse for 6 months, that means what? Your working capital, your money is being tied up in the form of inventories. Until you use the supplies, until you use the inventories, you process it, produce a product and sell it. Until then, you're not getting back the fund you've already invested in the um, stocks. All right. So seek to negotiate with suppliers in an attempt to obtain bulk discounts. So this is something you can able to negotiate, right? You can try to get a bulk discount, saying that all right, in next 6 months I want to buy maybe 100,000 quantity of products, but placing large orders but delivery over long period. Alright, so you are making a large order, but you're getting in a small packages. Alright, you are not one shot buying 100 million, 100,000 quantity, but you'll be getting first 2 months, let's say January, February, then followed by March and Feb and so on. So you don't need to pay one shot, that will reduce your initial liability. Alright, so you can try to get bulk discount at the same time. You might not able to pay all those at one time. Alright, so let's move on to the next or the last slides, methods of reducing cash operating cycles. Alright, as I mentioned, the longer the cash operating cycle, it shows you're not managing your working capital efficiently. So how to reduce it? Reducing the average stock turnover holding period by applying carefully planned purchasing procedures. Okay, so you don't want to hold the stock for a long period. You just order as and when it's required, as and when needed. Okay, and then reducing if possible the average length of the production cycle. All right, improve the efficiency of your production. Let's say previously you take 60 days to produce, all right, now you try to make it 45 days. Okay, then try to make it 30 days. All right, previously if you have labors working for you, so they take 2 months to finish a product, now you can buy equipment that can finish the same process within a month. All right, even shorter period of time. So try to reduce the production cycle. Reducing the average period of credit taken by the credit customers, right? Because previously, let's say you're giving 30 days for the customers for them to pay back. What do you do? Now you reduce the period, maybe 20 days, 15 days, try to collect the money as early as possible. Taking more credit from trade suppliers, perhaps by arranging longer credit period. So again, from your trade suppliers, if you have good negotiation skills or long relationship with the trade suppliers, you can able to negotiate together better or longer credit rates. So all these factors can improve your operating cycle. All right. So with that, we finished chapter 2 on working capital management.